Hello, my name is Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm talking about the taste of what is. In this video, I think we're going to explore the senses a little bit because each has its own differentiation, I think. Because enlightenment, as I've said, is seeing what is as it is. But what is the feeling behind, what is the essence of this? If you're seeing what is as it is seeing something out there. Usually, seeing is associated with out there. And so seeing can sometimes be somewhat removed. Now, when I'm talking about enlightenment as seeing what is as it is, it's far more intimate, this seeing that I'm talking about. But as we talk about seeing, some can feel a bit of a separation there. Now, when I talked about meditation, I've said that meditation could be considered the practice of listening. And listening is a little more interesting in terms of, from seeing to listening. I think it seems a little closer, a little more intimate. It's a little more immediate, perhaps, in terms of, hearing, not so much hearing, but listening it feels different than seeing, is what I'm trying to say. And you can even play with this. Now, sometimes, I think I've heard this in Sufism, but the whole idea of sensing through the heart. If you see with the eyes of the heart is something you could play with. And you could look at something and see the beauty of it. You're interpreting it in terms of vision. And so you're seeing the beauty of it. You're seeing the stillness of it, perhaps. There's that aspect. But if you listen to it from the ears of the heart, there's deep silence. Listening is different. Also, listening can be somewhat a little more active. I sometimes play and experiment with things. And I was playing with listening the other day. And actually, I sometimes meditate with stones. And I have this Shiva lingam. And I was meditating with a Shiva lingam, and I was playing with listening. I was just trying to listen to everything. And with the idea in the back of my head, what is it trying to tell me? And as the attention kind of fell on the Shiva lingam that I was holding and listening to it, the impression I got is I'm holding it upside down. So I turned it around. It told me, so to speak, that I'm upside down. I'm supposed to be the other way around. And whether this was real, imagined, really doesn't matter. Whether you believe me or not does not matter. But what I'm saying is you can play with this. Seeing with the eyes of the heart, see things, but as you're listening with the ears of the heart, what does it tell you? And in playing with the senses in this way, like I said, seeing seems a bit removed. Listening is a little bit closer. Tasting is even more intimate, which is the subject of today's video. Tasting is, in seeing, you're seeing it out there. In hearing, you're hearing it out there. But in order to taste, you need to bring it into yourself. You need to drink it in. To taste it, it's almost like in Stranger of Strangeland when they were talking about grokking. To grok, they said, is a Martian term, they said, to fully come to understanding something, to deeply understand its essence, its being. But they said grok was also a word derived, the root of it, as it said, was to drink in. And tasting is a drinking in. You need to drink it in order to taste it. And so when you are meditating or just being mindful or just in nature or whatever, it may be interesting to play with, kind of like the seeing with the eyes of the heart, hearing with the, listening with the ears of the heart, in that intuitive, extrasensory kind of way. What is the taste of the moment? And one of the things I discovered, and thinking about it this way, not thinking about it this way, but experiencing it this way, is that tasting is far less conceptual. There's far less mentation behind tasting. Unless you're a food critic or a sommelier, you're not in the habit of trying to conceptualize and verbalize what you're tasting. Instead, tasting is a direct experience. It's here, it's now, and then it's gone once you finished eating it. And so it's not really conceptualized. But not that I'm encouraging conceptualization, but things do have a flavor. And so kind of like how a sommelier might be talking about a wine being crisp or bold or complex or, however, as you're sitting in the moment with what is, just kind of out of curiosity go, what is the taste of the moment? What's its flavor? And it could be upbeat. Who knows? Just play with it. Now, in just sitting meditation and being fully aware, I found added benefit of playing with the idea of what is the taste of it and actually trying to engage a drinking in kind of idea in order to taste it. It does more aptly or more readily mean you're accepting and embracing whatever is arising within you. Because I was meditating the other day, and part of just being still, silent, fully aware, I keep talking about body awareness. So as I was just aware of what's going on in the body, it was strange, but I felt a pang of pain kind of in the side. I don't know if it was a muscle spasm or whatever, but at the time I was playing with what's the taste of it. And it's like as soon as the pain arose, it was swallowed up. It was literally taken in, not resisted in any way. It was taken in and vanished as fast as it arose. And I know that in various body work, sometimes as things release, it involves, they talk about reintegration, but really what it means is you're no longer repressing. You're totally with it again. In this drinking it in, I could see how it would make anything that's being released in the body, reintegrate, so to speak, much quicker and without any resistance. If the attitude is you're drinking it in, you are looking for the taste of the moment, the taste of what's going on. And so if something's shifting in the body, you're just allowing it to be and, getting a taste of it. What's the taste? What's the flavor? And so things do shift. And I found it was really interesting because sometimes also in my meditations, I will kind of focus on the heart a bit, in terms of, I'm always trying to also engage some feeling in there. And so be it appreciation, awe, and I guess the image, a photo I had of Ramana Maharshi came to mind. And there immediately was a flavor with that. And that flavor, because of the nature of the way taste works and you're drinking it in, you know, it was immediately there was an immediate oneness in it. It's like the flavor of Ramana is the same as the flavor here now. And so it's an interesting thing to play with. And I'm kind of explaining different ways it can be played with. But if you play with just trying to get a taste of your own nature, your own being, the moment, I find there really isn't a different taste per se. When you get really deep into it, the taste of your own being is no different than taste of the moment, which is, if you're looking in front of you, the same taste of what's in front of you. It doesn't really change. And so it might be another avenue to experientially get a feeling of non-separation, is if you are playing with kind of the taste of what is, you find that the entirety has a taste, so to speak, a flavor. But I'm hoping this video isn't too abstract for everybody, but this is just things to play with. Because the way we play with or conceive of things changes the parameters. And so, like I said, if you are trying to see the self, for example, the way you encounter the self, you know, would be different than if you were trying to feel for the self or listen for the self. If you're trying to listen to yourself, different flavor. If you're trying to get a taste of the self, what's the flavor of being, that has a different result. And in my own experience, I find, you know, going from vision to hearing to taste, it's getting closer and closer, ever more intimate, more direct. Because as I said, taste requires drinking it in. What is more intimate than taking something into yourself and literally becoming one with it in order to taste it? And so it's just a different way to, I guess, play and experiment. And I recommend it because it may shift the way things have been perceived. It may open little windows or portals to see something you've never noticed before, or understand things in a different way. And so, I don't know, give it a shot, play with it, let me know what you think. If you got any questions, comments, please post below. Until next time, thank you much.